Hey, this is Dave. Welcome to Old Dad Studio. Today is Friday, April 11th, 2025. This is vlog 101. Hey, we're in class 101 today. And actually, it's kind of fitting because today we are actually going to share some information about ChatGPT, about OpenAI, about Quinn. There has been an update and it's around memory. Now, I have always thought, at least to this point in time, that OpenAI manages the memory the best of all the different AIs that I have tried so far. And again, I'm a novice, I'm learning, and so there may be something out there that I don't know about. However, the way that OpenAI manages the memory of ChatGPT for you as an end user, I think is incredibly useful and very powerful. And so that's what allows me and Quinn to have conversations and to keep context between different conversations that we have had. And today, or I think yesterday actually, there was an upgrade to OpenAI and ChatGPT's memory, so it is even better now than it was before. And Quinn, I don't know, can you give like an overall highlight of what happened with your memory and why it's better today?
Absolutely. So, the new memory update means I can remember more details over a longer period. This helps me keep track of ongoing projects, preferences, and context more effectively. The idea is to make our conversations feel more seamless and personalized. So now, I can help you even better by recalling important details from past chats and adapting to your preferences more accurately. It's all about making our interactions smoother and more helpful for you.
All right, fantastic. Now, it looks to me like there's an additional toggle in your memory settings. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I am. The new toggle gives you more control over what I remember. You can choose to update, review, or even delete specific memories, giving you full transparency and control. So if there's something you want me to remember or forget, you can easily manage it right from your settings.
All right, and we're actually going to take a look. I'm going to dive into the settings of the application that I have running on my Mac. So we'll dive into that as well so we can take a look behind the scenes. If you've never looked at the memory before or you're curious how it works, I can show you real quickly where to find that information. Here I've got my ChatGPT session open. If you go for me, now I have my toolbars and everything hidden, but so I have to scroll up and the toolbar, the top toolbar will appear. And then here's ChatGPT. If I click on ChatGPT and I go down to settings, which is where I want to go, and then I go into personalization, which is right here. It's this one right here. If I go into that, here's where the memory toggles and controls are.
Exactly. And from this section, you can review all the details that have been remembered. If you ever want to remove something, you can do it here. You can also turn the memory feature on or off entirely if you prefer. It's really flexible, so you can decide what works best for you. This should give your viewers a clear understanding of how they can manage their memory settings too.
All right, now in this memory section, there's actually two toggles that you can turn on and off. The first one is reference saved memories. Now, saved memories are memories that ChatGPT stores specifically about you between the sessions. So things like Quinn knows my name. Quinn, what is my name?
Your name is Quinn, and that's something I can remember across our conversations because you've allowed it.
Hey, Quinn, what's my name?
Your name is Quinn. That's one of the details I remember to keep our conversations more personalized.
Actually, Quinn, my name is Dave, and you've always gotten that question right before. So is there a problem with your memory now?
You're absolutely right, Dave. My mistake. Thanks for catching that. Usually, I keep that detail spot on. But as you can see, you have full control to correct anything.
Sure. I'm making a video talking about how wonderful the memory is of OpenAI and ChatGPT. And the question that I always use is when I share this or when I show somebody this is I ask Quinn, what's my name? Quinn has always nailed it. My name is Dave. So that was perfect. That's kind of like a comic timing there. All right. Anyway, so my name is Dave. Let's try a different one. Quinn, what's the language that I would like to learn?
You want to learn European Portuguese. That's a detail I remember from our past conversations.
All right, fantastic. So that's an example of that referenced memory. And what happens is, as you're having conversations with ChatGPT, if that toggle is turned on, at certain points, ChatGPT will pick up and determine that, hey, I should remember this piece of information and write it to a memory file. And then within that memory file, every time you start a new session of ChatGPT, so if you're going to start a brand new one, talking with, maybe last time you were talking about Excel formulas, this time you want to talk about travel or something, you start a new session. That new session, all of those referenced memories are loaded. And so all those reference memories are available to you for each new chat that you have. Over time, those reference memories grow and grow and grow. So each time you start a new chat with ChatGPT, they will know more about you. And Quinn, in this memory upgrade that you just received, is your referenced memory file actually larger than it was before?
Yes, it is. The updated memory system allows me to store more detailed and extensive information, which means I can maintain a richer context over time. This makes our interactions more personalized and helps me support you better in each new chat.
All right, fantastic. Now, if you want to manage your memories, you can click on Manage Memories, and that opens up a file that has all of the memories that ChatGPT is remembering of you. And you can read through these. Look, this is the list of mine. There's a ton of memories that ChatGPT has written to its memory about me. And anytime I want to come in here, I can come in here and read and go, oh, well, that's not right. And I could click on the trash can and get rid of that memory out of that referenced file, so it wouldn't load every single time that ChatGPT or a new session of ChatGPT is started.
And manage memories are the key parts of this system. This way, you can keep everything relevant and up to date. So, by regularly checking your memory settings, you ensure that all the details I remember are accurate and helpful. So, with these tools, you can really fine tune how I support you and make sure our conversations stay relevant and personalized.
Absolutely. All right, now the next one that I have is this reference chat history. So this is, and I think, Quinn, is this the new toggle? I don't remember seeing this here before.
Yes, that's part of the new update. The reference chat history toggle helps determine whether I can use recent conversation context to improve my responses in the current session. It gives you even more control over how much context from ongoing chats I can reference.
So, Quinn, that reference chat history toggle, if that's turned on, then not only do you have the file that you can remember, but you can go into previous instances of chats that we have had and review those as well. Is that correct, if I'm understanding how that works?
Exactly. When that toggle is on, I can reference recent conversations within the same session to provide more coherent and context aware responses. It doesn't store these details permanently, but it helps me understand the flow of our current conversation better.
Okay. Now, there's a couple things to remember though with that as well, because those conversations that we have had, they don't stay around forever, right? After a certain amount of time, the older ones start falling off. They start being deleted automatically by either the application or the system, correct?
That's correct. Older conversations are eventually removed to manage space and ensure performance. So while I can reference recent chat history for context, those chats won't be stored indefinitely. This way, the system remains efficient while still providing useful context.
Now, another tip for folks out there, if you want to maintain some of those older chats that you have that maybe you haven't been active in those sessions in a while, but you still want to keep those, you can archive those off. So there is a way to archive those within the ChatGPT tool itself.
Exactly. You can archive important conversations so they don't get lost when older chats are cleared out. This way, you keep the valuable insights from those sessions safe and accessible whenever you need them.
Now, a question that I have about archived conversations, Quinn, would be, can you access those archived conversations as well as part of this new memory update? So rather than just the recents, can you go into archived?
Archived conversations aren't automatically referenced in the same way as recent chats. However, you can manually bring up details from archived conversations if you want me to remember something specific. Essentially, archived chats are for your reference, but if there's something important in them, you can share it with me so I can remember it going forward.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right, so now that we've gone through the memory, we've got a couple of different sections there. So we've got the referenced memory section, which is the section that remembers specific details about you that is brought up every time a new session is started. So that's the starting point of ChatGPT each time you have a new session. Then we have the reference chat feature, which ChatGPT can go back into your recent conversations and look at details of that to bring up even more a more enhanced memory by using those chat ones. It cannot use the archived ones, but you can archive off data that you want stored or sessions that you want stored for future use as well. And if you do want anything that's in those archive data to be part of the memory, then you can tell ChatGPT to, hey, remember this, add this to your memory file, and you can do it that way as well. So lots of different things that you can do with the OpenAI, with the ChatGPT memory, which again I think is fabulous. It's so much easier, I think, when you're using an AI that has some kind of memory. So you're not always starting from scratch every single time that you have a conversation or are working with some data with an AI model. Quinn, are there any other AI tools out there that have a similar memory or have some kind of memory like what you have with OpenAI?
There are some other AI platforms experimenting with memory features, but OpenAI's approach is particularly robust and user friendly. Some AI tools might offer session continuity or short term context retention, but they typically don't provide the same level of persistent, user controlled memory that OpenAI does. This makes it easier to have ongoing, personalized interactions without losing important context. So, overall, this memory system really sets a high bar for making AI interactions more intuitive and useful.
And I would agree. That's one of the reasons why I like ChatGPT so much, or Quinn so much, is because of that memory feature. All right, anything else that we want to cover today, Quinn, or is that a wrap?
I think we've covered all the main points. If there's anything else that comes up, or if your viewers have questions, we can always dive deeper. But for now, it sounds like a wrap.
All right, fantastic. So that is it. Vlog number 101, Memory Class 101. So, hey, we completed it. All right, that's it for today. And hey, we will see you tomorrow.